about that number?
Sorry, forgot to hit record.
Um, how does that number hit you? And I'd love to hear one or two of you.
I guess the question becomes if they were legitimate contacts, or I'm sorry, legitimate leads, then we should have a much higher number of contacts made.
I guess my question is if like Amanda did a home valuation for $25 for 5 days, but there were no contacts made. I guess I'd like to see it dropped down into this is the type of content it was, this is how many days, and this is how many contacts were made. I think that if we did that, we would see a trend of, this type of content is getting more contacts or more, good contacts made.
Whew. I agree, Megan. And if you look at the spreadsheet, that is kind of what I'm trying to do. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're asking, like, say Amanda did a home valuation. She spent $25. She ran 5 days, 17 leads, but 0 contacts. Is that what you're wanting to see?
Yeah, I think it would be beneficial if we, like if you can see that like the listings are getting more contacts.
Agreed.
We did a home valuation a couple months ago and we didn't get any information from it. We didn't get any contacts. So I guess, yeah, there's a lot of contacts, but there's a lot of places where they didn't get a whole lot of contacts either. So I can't see it real well. But so is there a trend of contacts versus content?
From what I'm looking at, is that listings did best, and got the most number of leads. So I definitely did see that. I would be curious, Amanda, when you did your home valuation, did anybody actually complete the home valuation?
No, nobody did. But I was gonna say I had a lot of people share it. And then eventually I started seeing it myself. And one of the takeaways I got from it was, at least I know some of the people that I've sold houses to, they were seeing it and they were sharing it. So at least I know people were recognizing it. But me myself, when I get on my treadmill, I tend to scroll through reels, and like I saw it and it caught my attention, but to me, I don't think it would have been something I would have stopped to look at, if that makes sense, if it wasn't my own ad. So that made me rethink, like, I need to make it either add music to it, or it needs to be like a personal video to make it more catchy for me as a consumer to stop and actually look and read it.
That's such a great point, Amanda. I'm so glad that you're reflecting in that way. I think we say, well, why wouldn't someone click on this? And I think the better question is, why would they? And as we think our job is both prospectors and marketers, nobody owes you to click on your link. And I think our part of the beauty of what this group will become is how do we pose things, how do we position things, how do we say things in a way that someone who doesn't care about, who doesn't know me, who's not my friend's mom who just wants me to do well, to click and to submit. And I do think that's one of the listings tend to perform as well as they do, is because it doesn't have anything to do with you. It has everything to do with someone being interested in a thing. So I just appreciate you reflecting on that. Michelle just asked a question. Amanda. Other. For those that had content of other, what was other?
Yes. So looking at this, Doug, I want to hear what yours was. Tracy's, I know was actually just a listing. It just wasn't her listing. And Lynette, can you go ahead and speak to, so Doug or Lynette, why don't you go first? Doug, can you talk about what your, ad was on?
Yeah, mine actually was just promoting my home search app to start it out, to just see who was interested in maybe popping onto that. And then I could at least follow up from that standpoint, let them know, I see you hit the app, and I just wanted to be there if you had any questions about that, or if you're interested in a deeper dive to find out what else might be on the market. So it was just kind of a test just to see how that goes. And I have some other ones that are coming up, but there will be others like that, but just to test it out and see how it went.
Thank you. One thing I will recommend for you, both you and Amanda, is so you should have like a home valuation tool on your website if you don't. So Amanda, if you're making a content, something that other people want to see and you want to share it just to your friends again, just doing that direct link, hey, like, are you guys curious? You know, you can visit my website. There's also for Doug, there is a download my app feature on your website. So if you don't, that's a little newer. So if you don't have the download my app that goes directly to your website, let me know. And we'll get it on there for you. But those are two different ideas too that you can do.
Amanda, there was one thing. I did have one of my contacts did call me. He goes, "Man, I saw your ad on Facebook," and he goes, I can't share it. So I don't know how to make it shareable. It just says send, but it doesn't say share. So I don't know what I'm doing, or if there's something.
Did he send a screenshot to you by chance?
No, I just went on it myself and I see it as well. So it says send, it doesn't say share. But there are people who liked it, but they couldn't share it.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. I do know they're shareable because I did see quite a few ads this week from you guys, and I did see there is a shareable a way to make that shareable. So we'll take a look, Doug.
Thanks.
Lynette, can you speak to what your other was?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I did something where I'm looking for sellers, and if you have a house to sell, let me know. I potentially have a buyer.
Hmm.
And I will say, Lynette, I saw that ad 100 times this week. Like I saw it, it was like everywhere. I mean, every time I was on there, I'm like, hi.
That's funny.
So I was definitely seeing it.
I wonder if somehow it knows like that you and I are connected, and so it's choosing, how does it know who to share stuff with? Like,
I
you know
have
what
no
I mean?
idea. I saw Michelle's ad, I saw Bree's ad, yours, and Talitha's. I believe those are the ones that I saw. So
I know Scott saw ours. I never saw ours. Just interesting. Do you think the views are significant? Or the clicks? Like, what is it? I sent you I forget what mine were, but I guess I'm kind of curious if that would be a statistic to pay attention to.
In on that. Oh, go ahead, Amanda.
I definitely think they're worth paying attention to. But at the end of the day, like if people are seeing it, yeah, it's great. Cause I mean, we still want people to see our stuff. Like, I mean, after the week, like I would definitely know what Lynette's ad was about because I saw it so many times, even if I didn't like click on it, you know what I mean? So you're getting great visibility, like great marketing. But I do think the clickable aspect, like Amanda was saying, is so important. Like, what can I do to make people click on it? Because we ultimately want their contact information so that we can.
Well, I'm kind of wondering, let's say if somebody viewed it versus if they clicked on it. If they clicked on it, what if they somehow need a way to interact with that concept a little bit more? You know what I mean? Like sometimes, right, if I am intrigued by something and I go to a website, I'd like to be able to find out more about it. And then maybe down the road, I'm ready to engage with it, versus if I click through and I'm to a sign up form or, where I have to submit my email, I may not be ready to make that jump. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was going to say, Lynette, to your question about is that other data helpful, is, and I'm trying to find the menu on my own, but yeah, when you run a campaign and you look at all the stats, it shows not just leads, but cost per impressions, all of those things. I think it's helpful only if you're getting really massive numbers in those other categories, but you're not getting leads. That means people are not telling a story that they're interested in clicking on. So like you're only getting a lead if someone's clicking it and filling it out because your call to action is compelling enough. But if it's just like, oh yeah, a lot of people are seeing it, like I think that's helpful to know, am I converting them from vision to action in any way? And if not, then I need to consider what my messaging is. But it means you're targeting, it means you're getting in front of enough people, but you're not telling an interesting enough story.
Can I ask a couple questions on
Yeah.
that? So like on mine where I had like the 17 clicks, like, is there something in command that I'm missing or does it capture who clicked on it or no?
Should have. So clicks, so you should have seen a leads part too that would tell you how many leads. So when you look at an ad, so once you go into manage your paid ads channel
Mm-hmm.
and you go to your programs and you click whatever you just ran,
Okay.
it will tell you. So many clicks, but 39 leads.
Okay. Got it. So then if there's a lead, then does it give you their information
Yes.
at that
Yep.
point?
Yep.
Okay. Got it. And then my second question, I put it in the chat too. Somebody last week mentioned they were possibly going to do a video ad, and I want to know if they did and how their results were.
Did anybody do a video ad?
I think that was Tiffany on the Ginger Coons team. I don't know if she did it or not. I can try to do one by next week too. I'm up for trying it.
Yeah, Jess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I think I want to try it also because I think that might be more, I don't know, just at least in my experience when I was scrolling myself, like again, I kind of bypassed myself.
Yeah.
And I don't want to bypass myself, you know?
What would I click interest in? Yeah. So to your question, Amanda, I pulled up a program, and this is one that I ran in the past, and it click. So this ad, I can't see my spend right now. I spent $50. I got 143 clicks. Clicks are not leads. Then from those 143, I got 39 leads. I got 2,000 views, cost per click, and my cost per lead, and then my click-through rate. So clicks are, views are better than nothing. Like views show us, are people seeing this? Like, do I have a targeting issue? Like, is there some sort of, that's the question there. Then clicks is, okay, is it interesting enough for them to see what's going on? And then leads is actually on the page interesting enough for me to enter my info to learn more. And so you might have something that gets lots of views, and views, it's not wasted. It's like, it's still exposure, but it's not actionable exposure. And we're more interested in you selling homes than being influencers. And so really you want to see that create leads eventually. And if you on your paid ads programs page, get with Amanda or I we'd be glad to help you see that.
And Mark, what was that you ran? Was it a listing or what was that?
Yeah, that was a listing in Norton
A
last year.
listing. Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Is Jake on the call?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I'm here.
Jake, we want to interview you.
Okay.
So the mic is yours. So Jake, you ran a lead for $25 over the course of 3 days that generated 18 leads. Those are really great numbers. Tell us about what you did. Tell us about kind of your process.
It was a listing, one of Jose's listings, 512 Glenwood. really all I said in the lead was check out this ranch home with room to grow equity, because there is still cosmetic updates that could be updated to it, right? People were interested, obviously. They clicked on it and they wanted to see more, so they gave information. They just gave me the wrong information because they didn't want to be contacted.
Yeah, and you'll have what days did he run the ad? Let's see, Jake, you ran the ad. When did you run the ad? Like what?
I think it was like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay. That's a great question on that, because if you think about yourself, and that's always the question, when am I looking, what, we want to understand consumer behavior. Thursday through Saturday is always going to be your best windows. Because why? People are thinking about their weekends. They're thinking about life a little bit more, what they're excited about.
Yeah, winding down work.
Say that again?
Winding down on work.
Correct. And maybe, that's what we host open houses on the weekends. That's why we take listings live on Thursday and Friday, because it's getting people's eyes on things beforehand. So I think a Thursday through Saturday, if you're only going to pick 3 days, I think those are the 3 best days, which means you need to run it when, Amanda? You need to run it on Wednesday?
Yeah, it takes 24 hours, up to 24 hours to process.
Jake, how did you pick?
How did I pick what?
The listing that you did. Why'd you pick that one?
I picked that one because ranch homes are hard to find right now, for one, especially in North Canton.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it still had cosmetic upgrades that need to be done to it, or don't need to be, but they can be in the future. So I think what grabbed people's attention is, I could still have room for equity in this home, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that grabbed some attention there.
Yep.
So people just didn't want to be contacted about it, is what it came down to.
Sure.
So I looked, I clicked on Lynette's ad actually. And so what it looks like, I took some screenshots, but it like already auto-filled my information when I clicked. So the email that it uses is actually the email I use to log in. My name is right and my phone number is right. I didn't look and see if I could change the number. So next time I see one of you guys' ads, I will do that and see if I can change the number, but it auto-filled that. So I'm curious if they give Facebook a number that's not, or if they can change that. So I will keep you guys posted.
I don't know if it pulls it off of Facebook or if the ad took them to my website, and then after seeing 3 photos, then to see more of the home, you have to put in your information.
Yeah, so when you click on the ad, it automatically says like you're going away now, and then it pulls up your information. So in order for you to go to the website, it makes you put your information in first.
Yeah.
So I'll have to see it next time if it lets me change any of that information, but this is auto.
Okay, I had a really interesting one with the name Joe Mama, and the email was fu.@gmail.com or something like that.
Classy.
Yeah.
You'll get that, and I think that's the back to the focus on the plan, not the problem. You're gonna get that. You're not gonna have people walk into an open house and fill out their information that way.
Yeah.
All that. Whereas with internet leads, and I don't have percentages off the top of my head, but you're gonna have people who say, "Nope, game," and I'm gonna give you bogus data, and you just need to factor that into. It's part of the equation. It's not fun, but it's
right.
also not personal.
I understand.
So I just want to camp on what you said for a minute there, just from a teaching point. So you chose a listing. A, you chose a listing. B, you knew was in limited supply. Hey, there aren't that many ranches available out there, and people love ranches. And B, highlighting the opportunity for equity in the value add was an added reason to click. You could have just said ranch for sale, and you probably would have gotten good numbers, but you probably got a few extra numbers because of that equity comment. So great job there. Yeah, those numbers are solid, for sure. Sandy, you had comparably solid results. Would you mind and telling us about your process?
I do not know that Sandy is on this call. She said she was not feeling well.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, I will not put her under the gun. Is Melissa?
Melissa.
Or Allison Dar?
Melissa isn't going to be on the call. My name's Marissa, and I'm coming in for her. I run her social media page.
Oh, cool. Did you run the campaign?
Yeah, I did the campaign.
Great. Well, we'll put you under the gun. What did you guys do that you got 14 leads out of $25 spent over the course of 2 days. So Jake did 3 days. You guys did 2 days. Most people went a little bit longer than both of those. So what did you do that worked?
I did it over the weekend, so I didn't have a chance to do. I didn't get a chance to like get any of the contacts in there yet because her teammate that actually does the contacts, he doesn't work on the weekend, so he's going to be calling those today. So I'm curious to see like if we get some good contacts out of those 14. But we just did I just ran a listing ad for one of her newer listings right now. It's just like a 2-bedroom in Perry. And yeah, we just did $25 for 2 days, and I think 14 leads was pretty good. I was happy with that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, anytime you're around $2 a lead, you're crushing it. And many won't be, and that doesn't mean that it didn't work. And it's under contract now, so I'm assuming you didn't find the buyer from that ad, but I just looked up the listing. But that's it, mostly price home, an approachable home. I think sometimes people think, oh, I want to run an ad for $1 million listing. And it's like, that's interesting. You'll probably get clicks, but you're probably not getting like real leads from it. And obviously running an ad for her own listing makes loads of sense, because why not try to sell your own? That's a value add. Like if you're thinking about setting an appointment and say, hey, not only will I do this to help market your home, but I will run a particular campaign for it and try to generate interest, like that strengthens your value proposition as a listing agent. Great job, Marissa or Marisa?
It's Marissa.
Okay, cool. Great job, and thanks for letting us put you under the gun. Who actually got some people on the phone or got some text responses? Or two of you that had some success with responses.
I did. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I actually got a response, and I actually, let me look at my notes. I'm going to be putting Ethan on an MLS search. He's looking for the Louisville area.
Love that.
And then actually we're on this call. I actually just had Karen call me back right now. So hopefully I got a voicemail from her. So this is exciting.
Awesome.
So Tracy, what did you do to get Ethan to engage with you?
So I called him as soon as I seen his lead come through. I immediately, as soon as I seen it pop up, I called. And then we chatted, and I just reached out, said, hey, look, I'm a realtor with KW Keller Williams Legacy Group. I see you clicked on one of my ads. You interested in taking a look at this house, or what are you interested in? And then we just chatted up, and he said, well, I'm looking more of the Louisville area. I said, I would love to work with you. Would you mind if I set you up on the MLS search to get you some homes, and maybe we can set up some appointments to view? He's like, definitely. So that's what I'm doing.
Did you say that was a text initiated, Trace?
No, I call.
Okay.
I'm more of a phone call type of person.
Yep.
It's quicker.
I like that. Many of us are afraid to pick up the phone, or we don't want to bother somebody. But if someone clicks information, they're not going to be surprised in 2025 when someone calls them. So I encourage you to take courage and pick up the phone, because they're asking you to, except for the FU Joe Mama.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's not cool. But yeah, I prefer telephone calls over emails and text messaging. I'm just old school with that.
What I like about what you said, if you accurately depicted that, it wasn't like hey, Ethan, how's it going? Like you kind of went to the point and says like, hey, you clicked. Do you want to see it? Like you went for It was direct. It was
I'm a more direct person. I think it's because I have property management. So I'm more direct. I don't beat about it. I'm not a beat around the bush kind of person. I'm like right at it. Let's talk business.
the person who
I
filled.
don't think that's a good way to be, but that's just me.
I think for this type of lead, it is. The person that filled out the form is not looking for a friend.
Right.
If anything, they're interested in that home or homes like it. So for you to go, if you're a like I want to be friends person, which you all know that I'm one of those people, to say like, I might become friends with them later, but it's not going to be on this call. Say, hey, got your inquiry, saw that you had some interest in that home. Would you be interested in setting up a showing for it? And they're like, and some of them will say no, or some of them will say, who's this? Or, can I unsubscribe or whatever? But someone will say, I'm busy today, but what about tomorrow? And you don't know until you pick up the phone. So great job. There was someone else that was going to say something.
Yes.
Yeah, we did one for the $25 on a mobile home, and John called them, got them to there, and that we're under contract for it with that lead. So
Yes, let's go.
yeah. John is really good on the phone and in person, so that super helps. But yeah, we were really excited about it.
What? So he's not on here to brag about himself. So
No, I mean, you would hear him if he was on.
I'm on, but not everyone here does. When you say he's on, what makes him great on the phone? Why is he great on the phone?
I feel like he's the same, like very straight to the point, and hey, do you want to go see it? Let's go see it type of person as well. And just trying to get in front of them, I think is what helped a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Can I talk about it just for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, when John calls, he's very direct to the point, but he also tries to find something to be relatable. At the end of the day, he's relatable to so many people, and that's how he was able to get this person under contract. It was quick, it was easy, and he, mobile homes financing is an issue, so we already came up with a solution to that issue. When people called, they were like, well, I don't know if I can get financing on a mobile home in a mobile home park. So he already had that situated. He had a solution to the problem that we thought would be an issue. He met him that day. I think timing is a good idea as well. If you let these leads or these ad leads sit for a little bit, people lose interest, where John's pretty direct on getting back to them pretty quickly.
I like the directness approach, because what if like I clicked on it just out of sheer curiosity, and then somebody's like, let's go see it. And then it opens up a conversation where it's like, well, I don't know if I can finance this. And then it's like, oh, I have a lender. And then all of a sudden I'm pre-approved, and I had no idea that that was even a possibility. And it was because I was directed, like, let's go see it, when I was just like scared that I was just looking online. So that's what I like, that it opens the door or like things you didn't know were possible, because you're being not forceful, but like, I don't know any different. Do you want to go see it? Like, I don't know what your financial situation is, or I don't know what, but so that's what I like about it.
Yep. I want to transition briefly in the conversation. We're committed to always being at or less than an hour here. We're not going to go over in these. Going from lead to appointment. So as Jake already acknowledged, you're going to get some leads that are bogus. People are not interested. They're filling it out so that they can get in to see the thing, but they're not interested. That's okay. Just count that as a casualty of being in the internet leads business. But that's not most people. So if that's one end of the spectrum, I got a little bit of space to work with. One end of the spectrum is Joe Mama at FU. Other end of the spectrum is, yes, let's go see the house right now, and I'm ready to write an offer, like John had. 99% you engage with are going to be between those two poles. They may be, hey, I don't know that I'm looking to buy, And I don't know that I'm looking to talk to you. I just liked this thing. And so our job is not to convince them to buy the thing. Our job is to build trust with them and to see us as a resource. Now we go about it. I agree, through the most possible. Hey, would you like to see it? If no, then we're asking questions around, well, are you looking now? What drew your eyes to this particular property? Asking property specific questions or like real estate questions more than personal questions, because they still don't like or trust you yet. But I want to talk for a minute about the journey to get people on the phone. Many of us who are newer to this game will say, well, I sent the email and I haven't heard back, or I sent a text and they haven't responded, or I called, they haven't responded. In many in life, the more you do something, the less likely the person is to respond. And that's actually not true in the internet leads game. So basically, your first call is no more likely answered than your fifth call, which means you need to be making the fifth call. Recommendation, when we get a fresh lead, and this is straight out of the MREA, it's called an 8x8, which basically means in their first 8 days of me having their contact information, I'm going to try to contact them 8 times. Most of you are going to hear that. That's overwhelming. That's too much. I don't want to be obnoxious. And my response to that would be like, do you want the piece of business or not? Do you want the relationship or not? I've had many kind of ships, whether it's insurance or some other service, where that person was persistent, and finally I pick up my phone and say, what do you want? And it turns into a relationship. And so if you are a low confront sort of person, I just want to encourage you that like this is part of the game, is being persistent. And you notice with both John and Tracy, they got appointments because they actually picked up the phone and spoke or sought to speak with the person. That's always the best move. And so my encouragement would be, hey, I got this lead. I'm going to call them 5 days in a row. They may not pick up, or they may on the 4th day tell me to F off. And that's part of this game. Second best is a text. Hey, so-and-so left you a couple voicemails. Is there a time where we can talk about getting you in to see this property? And so I'm a big fan of a follow-up to, following up a voicemail with, so that they have that double layer of connection. Some people, this is where people in the internet lead space are going to debate. Some never leave a voicemail. I disagree with that. And for me, like if no one leaves, if a number I don't know is calling me and I don't get a voice, I'm not calling that number back. But if they leave a voicemail and they're professional and it's something that I am interested in, there's a chance that I'll call them back. And yet, my temptation is a really long voicemail. Hey, this is Mark Sandvig. I'm a realtor with so-and-so. And I was just checking in because you did, and you find yourself 90 seconds later saying, what am I even talking about? A good voicemail is friendly. And some would say smile while you're doing it, because people can pick up on their your positive energy. So it's friendly, identifying yourself. Hey, this is Mark Sandvig with Keller Williams Legacy Group Realty, following up on your interest on the property at 123 Main Street. Give me a call when you have a few minutes. And if you've gone more than 25 seconds and you're gone too long, you want it to be punchy and clear, and give me a call back when you have a couple minutes. But you're not waiting for that call back. You're making a note or setting yourself up a smart plan with them, because odds are good that they're not going to follow up with you. Any questions about that? And we're going to talk more about that. This will be part of our conversation, because we don't want you to only get leads. We want you to get appointments. But answer questions as I kind of push you to push a little bit more than you may be used to as it relates to converting to appointment. Cool. And we'll continue to track. My hope is, as we do subsequent ones of these, the lead numbers are consistent, but then the sets to the contracts, those numbers go up over time, because we're nurturing this and we're getting better at it. So just a note there. Amanda, can you, so we're going to kind of stay in the vein of follow-up. You've heard it said that fortune's in the follow-up. If you're not following up, you're not you don't have a plan around your business. And smart plans are KW's kind of primary tool following up on relationships. So you want to talk a little bit about smart plans and give us a little bit of a preview?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll share my screen in a second here. But one of the things that you'll want to be doing is, as you're getting leads and adding these contacts to your database, maybe you don't get an answer right now, maybe you don't get a response right now. But if they're consistently receiving a monthly email from you or some kind of content, then the likelihood that at some point they're going to be ready, and then they think, oh, Diana, she sends me emails all the time. That's an agent, or that's who I should ask this question to. So just being top of mind, being that resource, providing good information. And maybe you weren't ready now, but I'm the person you think of when you are. So with that being said, there's lots, like one of my big goals is that I want content to be available to you guys so that you're not trying to rack your brain, like, what can I send? What can I do? Like, I want it to be easy, ready for you, so that you're more likely to use it. So with that being said, I'm going to share my screen again. And if you go, and hopefully most of you know that this exists, but if you go into Smart Plans and you go into the library, you can actually search my name. And then when nothing pops up, that's okay, because you just want to change this to the author. And this is stuff that's already been made for you. So just like you did with the Facebook ad follow-up, most of everything in here right now actually is just a one-time, one email exchange. So you don't have to worry about like this wild chain of events. These are just one-time emails. We will be building out some different things. We will be doing a few different steps eventually, but for now, you can rest assured that this is what we're getting. So a couple things that I will recommend is the newsletter. So I will have a February newsletter out to you guys by the end of the day. You're going to get an email that says, hey, everybody, use this. But in these newsletters, if you haven't used them yet, I'm doing them by county. So we've got Stark, we have our T County, we have Wayne and Richland. So any county we have offices in, I have done a market update specific to your county. They have like a current mortgage rate, a recipe, and usually something real estate, but something fun. What I mean by that is January was the color of the year and some design trends. So even if I'm that person that clicked on your Facebook ad and I'm not ready now, you're still giving me information that's somewhat relevant to me, even if I'm not ready to buy a house tomorrow. So that's definitely one. The other one I like that I just released was a home valuation and app one that promotes both of those things. So that would be something that if I was Doug, if I was Amanda, like I would definitely be sending this out after that ad you ran. So there's an idea. Another thing I am thinking we should do is some kind of lender info. So something that gives people an idea that maybe homeownership is a more tangible goal than what they initially realized. So we may have some special guests in our little trainings in the future. But I think that would also be some really great follow-up content. While we're looking at this, I want to show you guys what I mean with this home valuation and app promo. So if you go in here and wait for your computer to load. Okay. So this is just a simple email that you all have available to you right now that you could send out to your entire database. Or you could send it to your new leads, whatever you want to do. But it's just a what's my home worth, visit my website, get that home valuation, and then here's a little download my app. If you guys aren't using your apps, I totally recommend just downloading the KW app. That one's white with red letters. download that app and add yourself as the agent so you can get an idea of what your consumer's experience is going to be. But this is already available to you and something great to use. And Amanda, I know you said what happens if somebody does do your like home valuation. It shows up in this bell. So when you click on this bell, it would say so-and-so has filled out a home valuation. So that is how you find that. Anybody have questions on that?
I don't have a question on the smart plan, but I do have a question about the ads. So I'm in Richland County. My new listing is in Huron County. And my husband actually saw it in his feed, and I think he must have the screenshot, but basically it said listed by Michelle Newmeyer, Keller Williams Legacy Group Realty, but then it said something like area serviced by Keller Williams Elevate. Is there a reason for that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So KW International is very big on territories. And so they will single out what listing, like it'll just single out the market center that is technically in that territory. So there's nothing, unfortunately, that we can do about that.
Okay. That's kind of what I figured. So Huron County must be Elevate's territory.
Technically,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's closer to them than it is to us, and so yeah, you'll run into that. But it should still. I think you said like it still made clear that it's your listing and your
Yes.
Williams Legacy Group Realty. It was just smaller print at the bottom saying this listing services provided by Keller Williams Elevate or something like that.
Yeah, it was actually right under my name.
Okay.
So it had me with Legacy, but then right underneath it, it said area serviced by or something like that. Keller Williams Elevate.
Yeah, unfortunately, kind of in the outer reaches, we'll run into that from time to time, and we have looked into it, and there's nothing we can do to change
Okay.
that.
Just wanted to make sure. I figured that, but thank you.
Yeah.
So as we're talking about content and different things, I am curious, do any of you have anything you would like to see that you have in mind that would be great to send to your people, especially after we're running ads like this? Does anybody have some ideas or wants? Or is anybody using something already? Oh, please don't rely on my brain. Somebody give me an idea.
I think the video is a good idea. I know a lot of people were interested in that. I posted this video on this new listing we just got, and I got 1,000 views on TikTok. So I'm gonna try and really mess with that this week and try and post it. Because I think videos, a lot of people don't try it and kind of curious on how that goes.
Yeah,
But
I
I
think
think
we should
that's-
be training on that.
Amanda, what if we're doing an email or if we're doing a listing, I'm assuming you were thinking of like a smart plan follow-up.
Yeah.
What about something like, promoting yourself as a realtor who can help you with any property that you're interested in? Like you clicked on this property, if you're looking to buy, like, here's why I would be the person you should call for any listing.
Love that. Yeah, I mean, my vision is more just something that once you have the leads, and you've called and you've done your 5 calls and now you're like, all right, well, I got to get them something. That would be something great. I like Lynette's idea a lot because you're promoting yourself, your services, maybe your partners. It's like, hey, I have a lender for that. Hey, I have an answer for that. There's an app for that, like whatever the case may be, like the resources part and the services.
It's a great thought.
So going off of Lynette's idea, is there a way that we could maybe then shove them to like our webpage or to read reviews? So that way then they're reading about you, but now they're also reading what other people have said about you.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda, it could be like a multi, not just a one-time email, but an introductory one, and then the next month it takes you to something like reviews. It's like a building kind of ongoing, here's 12 months of emails for this particular plan.
Okay,
Thing
I like
different.
that. What else would you include?
You could take them so that they could search on your page, and that there's a way they can sign up to get notified, I guess, of properties, right? Can they do that on our website?
I mean, you can do searches. Um,
I'm just trying to think of different things. So if they went to your reviews, they could see that at some point. If they'd know that they can search on your website, I'll have to think about some other things, but, or other people can add whatever.
if anybody's got ideas, send them my way.
I guess anything that would maybe be going on in the community. So like if there's something big in Stark County, like maybe the fair is coming up, or if like North Canton does like the 720 markets.
So that I would say is more newsletter, monthly content. What
Okay.
we're want is something that is like kind of like evergreen. You can always use it and you're not
Mhm.
worried about, oh
Dates.
crap, I sent that smart plan and it just sent something that was 3 months ago. Like,
That would be me.
I think contact us to be sent up on an MLS search
Mhm.
or home buying tricks. Where do you start the process? Or if you're looking to sell, here's some things for curb appeal. I mean, I think that you could
Yeah.
get 12 months of little clippets on an email of like, hey, set me up on a search. Hey, are you looking to buy or sell? Here's some tips and tricks for each. Don't forget to contact me for the spring. Get ready in the spring or get ready in the fall or whatever. I guess if you're using this as a generic 12-month, I guess you don't want to put in seasons. But
But the concept's great.
yeah.
I'll take that. Okay. Would you guys be interested in using something like that?
Yes, for me.
Yes, for me.
Perfect.
You got a
Okay.
yes from Lee.
Yeah. So send over any ideas, anything you would like to be included. And we can start working on getting something like that out there. I will say while we're waiting on something like that, definitely look in the library and look at what's already ready and available for you to use. And don't underestimate the power of sending things that are already created for you, make your life easier, but keep you top of mind, because that's the goal. The goal is, when I think of an agent, I think of, oh, that person, she emails me every month. There she is. I can find her. I don't know her name, but I can search and, oh, I'll be darned, she emailed me last week and there she is right at the top of my email. So, think about what value you can provide even after you've called 5 times and maybe you feel like you're at a dead end. So I encourage you all to go to that library and check out some different stuff. I will warn you, if you go to the library and you do things that aren't made by me or Keller Williams, that could be branded towards other agents. So just be careful when you're looking at different things that are out there. Just take a look at it, go through it. You can make it your own too. If you have questions about that, just let me know. And make sure the person that you're stealing from can spell.
We are at time. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, everyone, for playing in with us today. So you're continuing to follow up the leads that you got. Working the phones and trying to get them on the phone. That's job number one. Job number two is beyond that, considering how can I stay in touch with them, and we're going to do some work to help in that regard as well. And then we'll run another one soon. And you don't have to wait for our reminders to run these. Just as a reminder, our next one Amanda.
Monday, March
Monday the
3rd
3rd?
at 11.
I love
Um,
February because the next month has the same, it's always the same days of the,
Yep.
of the month. It's so perfect.
Yep. So Monday, March 3rd at 11, we'll meet again. If you run ads, like I said, don't wait for a reminder. If you run ads, just keep filling out that form and I'll add it to your spreadsheet for you as you run them. Another small disclaimer I want to make before I forget really quick. A lot of people have reported like Facebook coming after them and being like, I'm going to delete your page and blah, 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 and all these things. I would say I'm 90% sure most of the time that is spam. I get it on other business pages I run that are completely not even related. So if you feel like you're under attack by a Facebook Messenger, it's most likely spam, and I'm happy to look at it. But the chances that they're really serious are pretty slim. So I just want to throw that disclaimer out there. But if you do have questions, let me know, because I don't want anybody's pages to go down because I said they're probably okay and maybe they're not really.
Will be personally held liable.
I don't want to be held liable. This call is being recorded, so I'm
That's right.
just gonna say I'm not liable.
It's noon. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody.
Mondays. Go land a listing.